Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the All Progressive Congress APC dashed the hopes of Nigerians, and especially his now disillusioned supporters, with his staged address, enfeebled defense of his badly planned and hurriedly executed policies that have worsened economic hardship and uncertainty across the country in the last 2 months. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, they raised the recourse to such vacuous, illusory, and showy maladministration, which further revealed lack of leadership ingenuity and focus in the management of affairs of the nation. The PDP is appalled that the address is another litany of false promises hurriedly put together by his handlers in the desperate bid to hoodwink and beguile Nigerians, blackmail labor fronts, and divert public attention from the life discounting experiences imposed by the APC government. Such antics and play on the psychology of Nigerians with propaganda and empty promises is consistent with the deceptive trajectory of the APC since its emergence in 2014. The PDP holds that Senator Tinubu's speech is a horrifying reminder of APC bogus promises under him as national leader in 2015, which include promised 3 million jobs per year, making Naira equal in value to the US dollar, provisions of small business loan guarantee schemes to create at least 5 million new jobs by 2019, provisions of allowances to discharged and unemployed youth corpus for 12 months after their passing out, creation of a social welfare program of at least 5,000 naira for 25 million poorest and most vulnerable citizens, establishment of 300 billion regional growth fund, average of 50 billion in each geopolitical region, imaginary improvement in our agricultural produce with the phantom pyramid of rice, which turned out to be pyramid of lies, among other mirage of counterfeit promises. Nigerians are aware that the APC, with Senator Tinubu as national leader, never fulfilled any of these promises, but rather remained unaccountable and turned our once prosperous nation to the poverty capital of the world, where over 100 million citizens cannot afford their daily meals and other basic necessities of life. What then is the value of Senator Tinubu's new promises of 75 billion naira for new jobs in 2024? 125 billion naira to SMEs, 50,000 naira each to 1,300 nano business, and cultivation of 750,000 hectares of land for food, all without concrete policy and implementation plan, and which at best are openings for corrupt patronage and siphoning of public funds. I can describe this as trader money 2.0. We invite Nigerians to note that a comprehensive review of the speech shows that it is merely aspirational, meant only to mesmerize the citizens, as it is completely bereft of any concrete plan to tackle the energy crisis, production issues, monetary challenges, and worsening insecurity in our country. It is instructive to observe from the speech that the APC has no Marshall Plan to stimulate domestic crude refining as an answer to the crippling energy and manufacturing deficit in the country. Instead, the APC has committed our nation to the mercies of foreign interests and market forces. The submission in this speech that there are no other ways but for Nigerians to suffer hardship and high cost further exposes APC's scandalous cluelessness, lack of capacity, and deficiency of innovative ideas to effectively steady and manage a nation like Nigeria. It also shows APC's insensitivity to the sufferings of Nigerians and the lackadaisical approach to serious issues of governance. It is like the case of you take it or leave it. The APC should know, and this is very important, the APC should know that there is frustration in the society in the face of its apparent lack of ideas and leadership focus. Even with the removal of subsidy on petroleum products, the PDP restates that with a deft, transparent, and innovative management of resources, economic potentials, national comparative advantage, and expanded value chain in refining capacity, fuel should not sell more than 150 naira per liter in the country. It is therefore preposterous and a mockery of leadership that instead of stimulating domestic production of CNG fuel and alternative transportation system, the APC is planning to spend a whopping 100 billion naira to acquire 3,000 units of 20-seater buses for over 120 million Nigerians who rely on public transportation daily. This will amount to 3 units of 20-seater buses for an average 100,000 public transport commuters in each of the 774 local government areas across the country. This shows that the APC is completely disconnected from reality and lacks the capacity to manage a country as complex as Nigeria. It is pertinent to observe that the speech had no provision, and this is key. It's a major, what I can call a major frustration to the people in the riverine areas. The speech had no provision for riverine and coastal transportation, as well as haulage, which is in itself is the mainstay and drivers of Nigeria's trade, commerce, agriculture, and industrial sectors. Moreover, it is heart-rending that Senator Tinubu's speech had no words of assurance on security, which is the primary duty of government. There are no words for victims of escalated mindless killings, abduction, and marauding in various parts of the country, especially in the last 2 months. This shows an unpardonable disconnection and lack of empathy to the plight of Nigerians. It is worrisome that the speech had rather worsened the situation in the country, with further fall in the value of the naira today, because again there was depreciation of the naira today against the dollar, and more investors losing confidence in our economy given the insincere posture, lack of direction, and uncertainty created by the address. In any case, the PDP charges Nigeria not to despair over the new challenges presented by the speech, but to remain calm and continue to support one another in these perilous times, while hoping in the judiciary to restore their mandate for the enthronement of a purposeful, people-oriented, and effective administration that will work only in capital for the interest of the people. Leadership is key in everything. When you lead by example, the followers, particularly if they believe in it. Now, APC, we said it from 2014. They came on propaganda, they lied to Nigerians, they will create 5 million jobs, 3 million every year, 5 million that. They lied all through. To the point that there is a circus where they bought rice and created a pyramid of rice here in Abuja. when you have leadership that cannot galvanize the confidence of the led, then they can't lead. And that's exactly what you're talking about. But again, without speaking for the PDP government, but go back and see, compare like for like. The PDP governors and the states had come to be recognized as oases of development in this country. You go to Oyo State, you go to Adamawa State, you go into infrastructure development. When states and government go into infrastructure development, there's a cascading fallback in production, more employment, and you have activity. So there will be change in terms of exchange of funding, in terms of the economy booming. That's why we're saying, and that's why this speech has just barely exposed further the APC. They don't care about you, they care about themselves. Otherwise, and I'll give you an example. In 2008, during the depression, in the world depression, the Obama government in the United States took a conscious effort, because there's a pride in the Ford and General Motors, and made a deliberate action of government as a policy trust to invest so that those companies will not die. There are manufacturing cars, motor companies in this country. If this government truly wants a kind of Marshall Plan for that, there could be a deliberate, targeted investment in that sector so that they can produce more vehicles. In that, there will be other chain provisions in terms of companies supplying to that company, in terms of whether they're producing nuts or producing windshield. Or, that's there. That's how to grow an economy. Now you're taking 100 billion naira from here to buy vehicles from probably China or wherever. And what does that mean? That money goes out of this economy. You're producing for other people to generate employment in their economies. Why don't you look at inward and say, yes, what can we do here? And as a government, as a leader, say, you know what? We need to do something different from what we think we're doing. But again, it is business as usual. Why? Because APC has never been a party. It has been a special purpose vehicle which was created. And that's why you find the confusion in the APC today. When you have two cabals fighting, one has won. The CPC people are now pummeled. The ACN wing, they are the people, and you can see the contradiction. And when you have a party that cannot even manage its own affairs, because there are contradictions within the formation of that party, they are strange bedfellows. They only came together for a business. And they say, well, you have done yours, let me do mine. That's why you find that, oh, it's my turn. So it's not about whether I want to help the country. So that has to do with leadership. That leadership is missing, it's lost. Nigerians are yearning for leadership that can feel about them, that can empathize, that can hear their breathing, that can know that, yes, they are suffocating, and that they need to take out the need. And Nigerians must decide that it is time really to get the knee of APC away from the neck of Nigerians.